All right, you guys, today I'm going to show you a video on how to use our blue twin post in-ground rack. And I'll start with just a couple of general descriptions and I'll get more specific into it. So this rack has arms that move in and out like this. You can push them out, in, and push them out. Let me bring this just a little closer and look down at that guy. Okay. Additionally, you can pull the arm out like this, and it stops there, and you can push it all the way like that to there. And when you pull it out, you'll have to lift up a little bit, otherwise it's kind of hard to pull out. So both of these arms go in and go out, okay? And normally we'll put the car in with it coming in this way, facing straight in. Turn back up to you. So we'll come and drive the car in this way. We can do it around if we wanted to, but that's normally what we'll do. So let me grab the camera and show you a couple things. So first, let's talk about a little more equipment on the rack. So there are several adapters here, and this is one of them. And you can see that this piece threads down, so you can change the height of this by threading it. You can also see that there's a flat right here and a flat right there. These two flats need to fit right in this slot here and here. So when I put this down in there, I've got to make sure that it sits all the way down like that. So not like that, where the flats aren't lined up, but like that, where it's all the way down. And then I can thread it up or thread it down so I can get it even. What's really critical is that this side and this side are even. Front to back, you might have to make this side taller than the back to get the car leveled out. We have a couple more of adapters over here, and you can see the rack here that I have and these round adapters. So they have the two flats like the other one did, okay, and they thread out like the other one. But the difference between these two is that this one is used for frame cars, so that a frame sits on here and would hit the edge like this if it wanted to slide off. This one is used for unibody cars that have pinch welds. You can use this one for pinch welds and it'll sit right down that rubber pad, no problem. But you're not supposed to use this one for full frame cars. So we use these a lot, and I'll put these back here because we have so many unibody cars right now. Let me pause and I'll grab a couple other things for you. All right, so over here on the staircase, you can see the staircase going upstairs there. And here's all the floor jacks here. We have these brackets with all these extensions for the rack. So I've got another set of these frame adapters here because on this car behind us, this Camry, has the round adapters on for pinch welds. But these are extensions. And so these are some medium ones and these are some long ones. And they have the same slots, but you can put these underneath those guys. So for example, you could put this like this, and then this can go in here like this. And that will lift it up and give you clearance, especially on a car that has running boards. Or we can go like this, the taller one, and put this in here like that. And that's still safe. Those are really solid steel mounts. So these can be used. And we'll put these back here on the rack. Put this one back down over here. Put this one over here. And then we'll walk over to this car and just take a look at how this one is racked with these round pads here. You get up inside there. You can see the round pad is right on this metal rib called the pinch weld. And same thing on the front right here. So these metal edges up under here are called the pinch weld. You can see that guy's there. So that one's in good shape. All right, so what I'm going to do next, and I know you're not seeing me, but here I am. What I'm going to do next is talk about driving the car onto the rack and what you should look for. Basically, as a rule of thumb, the front tire goes into this dish right here. It's got two little lips. It kind of falls in and it'll kind of locate you. Depending on the width of the car, we're going to be a little bit more right or left. Small car like this WRX is probably going to need to be about few inches in from the edge. A bigger car would be out here. But what I really look for as I drive on is I look for this edge here to where the car is. So if I'm about 6 inches over, on the other side, I want to have the same thing, 6 inches over. I want to get it as centered as I can. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and move the camera. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this floor mat protector and put it down so my shoes from being in the shop are not going to get the inside of the car dirty. I'm going to take this seat cover and put it on the seat. And it's always kind of a hassle to unfold. You'll get through it. It's not as bad as opening like a cereal box, of course. So the bottom unfolds like that. And then the top part, as you can see here if I come closer, top part goes here over the headrest, okay? So here, let's say I'm a headrest. Like that, huh? How's that look? I know, you're thinking, Mr. L, perfect fit. Okay, so I'm gonna go put this on, and what you're gonna watch, I'm gonna lower the camera, I'm gonna put these on, and you're gonna watch me drive in, and you're gonna kind of see where I am in relationship to this piece here, and this piece here, and coming into this yellow dish here. And so, let's give a watch. All right, I'm going to take my camera and see how I did. Show you how I did. Sorry, make you a little dizzy. So I'm there in the yellow dish, not as far over as I thought. I'd say that from the edge to the car is about almost 12 inches, maybe 10 inches. And on this side, well, it's closer to 12, but the car's not perfectly straight. So I think if I turn this wheel out this way and back up just a hair and then roll forward, I'll straighten out and be nice and even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down on the ground here and let you guys just watch what I do. Put this up a little bit. You'll be able to kind of see what I do to drive and straighten it out. Now let's see how that looks. When I did that, I think I went too far. I did. I went too far. Now I'm a little too far this way, so I'm going to just kind of go right between them. Now I think I'm a little better. Kind of in the middle of that yellow pad. My wheel's not straight at the moment, but that's pretty straight at about 12 inches. And that's real straight at 12 inches. Okay, so I got it. So now what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and switch these guys out. for the other guys. So I'll pull this back so you can see a little bit better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these guys and drop them in. Make sure that guy's in all the way. And I'm going to come over here, take a look. And I'm going to come up under here and let you guys hopefully see it. And I go underneath there and I go, okay, here's this pinch weld right here. So I'm going to go right there underneath that pinch weld. And I'll pause this for a moment. Okay, so I'm going to go up with the rack and you can watch that arm go up and contact that pinch weld. Here we go. And I'll stop us right there. So now what I'm going to do is show you the controls on how this thing goes up and down. We're going to go ahead and push this green button right here to go up. And you can see the cars going up. And then to come down, we have to do two things. I've got to set down my camera here. In order to go down, I have to do two operations. One, this is the safety. You can hear it banging. It's an air-operated safety. We have to pull the safeties off and then push this down. So you got to do two things. And now the car is going down. And I'll turn that around so you can see it. Let's see. So I'll go up. And then I'll release the safeties and go down. And you can see it going down. Okay. So the process of doing this is we want to position these four arms. And we can get underneath here and take a look and see how we're doing. Make sure we're not crushing the exhaust or any cables or anything. I could come back here and take a look underneath and kind of see how I look. And I look good. So what I'm going to do is I'm about, 8 inches off the ground in the back and maybe 6 up front. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and rock the back of the car and bounce the car. And here's the thought. You can see it bouncing. And the thought is, and I will put the camera down so you can watch it a little more closely. The thought is, if this car, if I can't rock it off the rack when it's 6 or 8 inches in the air, then it's not going to come off the rack when it's 8 feet in the air. And so what I'm going to do is turn this down like this, and hopefully it'll focus there in just a moment. There it goes. And up we go. And so we are nice and safe here. We'll get a look at it up in the air. So I'm still pushing that green button. Almost all the way up. You're going to hear the sound change. As soon as you hear the sound change, stop. Okay, so you heard it kind of go, that's the pump struggling against the stops. So now I can come up under here and go, yeah, I'm nicely on that pinch weld there. This one over here. I'm safely on that pinch weld. Safely on that pinch weld. Safely on that pinch weld. There's no danger at all this car coming off the rack. By the way, while I got you guys here, I want to show you one other thing. Over here on this car, this 03 Camry had front disc brake rotors that when you hit the brake pedal, the brakes wanted to pulse real bad. And so you can see this is kind of shiny. I machined this with our Pro Cut on-car brake lathe. And I machined it. It's got a little bit of a shadow here because the pads are rubbing. But I machined it so both sides are parallel. And our brake lathe is down there in bay 4. But that's the way we get rid of that brake pedal pulsation. All right. So that's our racking operations and instructions. Sorry, I'm so dark here. Let me turn it this way. There we go. It lightens up once we get pointed inside. So that's our racking instructions, putting a car in the air on the blue rack. You saw the other video with the red rack, which is an alignment rack. We're getting ready to show you guys how to change oil and start doing some in-shop practices. So that's where we are. And just want to note that behind me, there's the main tool panel there. tools all down in these cabinets here. This is bay 3 right here, and I've got this WRX here in bay 3, and I got that 05 Tundra there as well. That's it for now.